Hi friends and welcome. We are doing a little vintage and antique shopping vlog. We're doing a little bit of a different format today because I have learned the hard way that this camera, while pretty handy and overall pretty user-friendly, does have a setting that I do not like, and unfortunately I can't change anything about it. But basically I discovered this actually during our Big Bend trip. Thankfully it only happened like once or twice there, but there's a slow-mo setting on the camera that is very inconveniently placed, and it's kind of hard to notice when you've accidentally turned it on. And unfortunately when you do shoot in that mode, I can recover, the visual and just like in post speed up the visual to 2x speed, so it looks fine, but when it records in slow-mo, there is no audio and you can't recover that, unfortunately. So I lost all the audio from when we were talking during the shopping trip, so it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna try and do a little bit of a voiceover. Bear with me, I don't have a professional mic or anything that I'm using. I'm just literally gonna record it on my phone and match it to the visuals. So sorry if it's not the best quality, but we can experiment and see if maybe you like this format. Then I could look into doing more of that in the future. But yeah, I went to a couple of different vintage and antique stores with my friend Jordan, and I didn't necessarily have anything in mind that I needed to look for specifically. I'm honestly kind of on a buying break, or at least that's what I tell myself. And I was only seeing if there were things that really stood out to me that were like either one of a kind, or it's like I've never really seen anything like this before. Usually when we're out, thrifting or antiquing or vintage shopping, if there's something I really like and I can't stop thinking about it, I'll like take a picture of it, and usually I'll try to Google reverse image search and see if there are, any listings on eBay, like Etsy, Depop, like any secondhand kind of shops like that. And if I can find, a good amount of them for comparable or reasonable prices, or maybe even cheaper in some cases, then that's how I know to be like, okay, I'll pass this time or whatever. But if it's something where it's like I'm not seeing a lot of them, or it's like way more expensive online, or the shipping is gonna make it more expensive, then I'm like, okay, I really want this, I can't stop thinking about it, let's do it if it's, reasonable. But anyway, so that being said, I didn't go into it expecting really anything or looking for anything specific. I had a few pieces in mind for filling some gaps in the house in terms of like furniture and decor, but I was really just kind of there to peruse. I honestly just really love antiquing and the mental simulation it gives me. I just like looking at things. It's like basically a real life I Spy book. And yeah, it's just like a fun activity. I always love going with Jordan because we just like yap the whole time. Yeah, I don't know, it's just a fun way to spend time and find some cool little treasures, and maybe even learn something that you didn't know about before. But without further ado, I will let the silent footage roll and y'all can listen to my mediocre narration. Alrighty, so we started over at Kudzu in Decatur. I won't gatekeep any of the locations just because, these are pretty popular spots to go vintage and antique shopping. But yeah, they had a really great mix of old and new, and just lots of really cool things to look at. In this booth, I was obsessed with this little toy. I call them like doctor's office toys, and I was telling Jordan that my pediatrician's office growing up had like a giant one that was basically like a big cube, and each side had like different interactive kind of toys, but like I just love these. I don't know why they're so simple, but I don't know. And then, of course, I had to look at mugs. Unfortunately, I have no more space to put mugs. Shout out to my husband if he's watching this. I did not bring home any mugs, I promise. always a sucker for a booth with lots of secondhand fabrics. I just love looking at old embroidery and quilted items and just like, I don't know, there's just something so special and sweet about something that was like handmade and it was with love and care. I obviously do a lot of knitting and crocheting, but I would love to get into sewing more. Ian's Nana quilts, and that is like my ultimate goal. I would love to one day. I was randomly obsessed with this little mailbox. I would love it for my 3D gallery wall, but I did not want to pay like $85 for that. Okay, also a sucker for milk glass. I think it's just like so beautiful and classic looking. I specifically am looking for a milk glass chicken like these, and boy, we really hit the jackpot with them. You'll see in a second. We like literally spent 10 minutes just looking at all of the chickens. Look at all those chickens. I do like the brown, like more transparent glass as well, but my heart is really set on a milk glass chicken, and this one in the basket is like so precious. And then these little doves or whatever they are in the bird's nest, obsessed. Like I literally wanted to buy all of them. I didn't buy any, but now I know where to go if I am looking to buy chicken or milk glass chicken, whatever. Like they're just so cute. That little pair of doves or whatever they are, I don't know why I want them to be doves, but anyway, they had pretty decent prices on them. They were great quality, good sizes. So like I said, I will be back when I am ready to claim my milk glass chicken. I just love this little book nook, and we pulled out this one very old vintage copy of Little House in the Big Woods, and it had the sweetest inscription. It's from Christmas 1959. And it reads, "Dear Ellen, this is the first of the Little House books. From time to time, we will add to it. Then you soon will have your own library from Grandma and Grandpa." Like, that literally made me want to cry. I love personal inscriptions. Ian's grandfather and grandmother on his dad's side always like inscribed books. And his mom still has like all their childhood books that they inscribe for them, and then hopefully when we have kids or when his sister has kids, like they can inscribe them as well and give them to them. Wasn't that shirt kind of giving olive oil from Popeye? Okay, I'm obsessed with this whole booth, especially that crocheted doily light covering. Like, that is stunning. But they literally had so many beautiful vintage lingerie pieces, and the whole booth is just giving girl. Like, I just love the vibes in here. And they actually had some lingerie that looked like it would like fit a modern woman or a modern person. So I was happy to see that. Also, I always clock the regional cookbook section anywhere I go. I'm on the hunt for a small town one, Dothan, Alabama. It's not so small anymore, but definitely more niche. But my dad's side of the family is from there, and there's a cookbook I want that comes from there. But online, it sells for like at least $70. All right, on to our next spot. This is Motherlode in Avondale Estates, so not too far from Kudzu. Grabbed myself a free topo from the fridge and got to browsing. They also were on their mug game today. I was obsessed with so many of these. I love the grandma one. There's a matching grandpa one too. I think I show it. But the grandma one is just like, I just love it. Also the one that just like randomly says Ed. But I don't know, just like how they have them displayed is just like really sweet. And yeah, the only one I don't like is Cursed Ronald McDonald. Okay, this is the Hell's Bells, that's hard to say. This is the Hell's Bells booth that mostly focuses on clothing at Motherlode. I don't know if I said it already, but they had a booth back at Kudzu that's more like kind of mountain lodgy vibes, very masculine. But yeah, love everything they've curated, both like in both booths, very moody. I tried on this kind of chambray oversized shirt. It just unfortunately is way too oversized on me. It had a cute little like floral calico print kind of situation. It's like slightly faded. If it had been like 1 or 2 sizes down, like it would have been perfectly oversized, but that was just a little too big, so I'm gonna let some other queen find it. So here we have my first and only purchase of the day. Spoiler alert, I did buy this. We were just like immediately drawn to the prints, and it is really soft, and it just has like the 90s teacher kind of vibes. Like it's giving Miss Honey, it's giving Miss Frizzle. I love the little pockets, the buttons, and just like, yeah, it's just so sweet. I did try it on over my clothes, which I know looks a little weird, but it was just so flowy and it felt good, and it was a nice price, so I was like, heck yeah. But yeah, it is super sweet, and I just like love the patchwork on it. Okay, I wanted to love this dress, but it was a little tight in the armholes, and it was kind of looking a little Sunday school. Like I could picture myself with like a little Southern lady's hat and gloves. But it was such a cute like butter yellow. Like that color is trending so much right now, especially for spring. And the floral design on it was like really delicate and cute, but it was just like a little too long, like, which I could have it hemmed, but the armholes, like I said, were like really restricting. Like I would not be able to move in that. But again, I will let some other queen find it. And then this is a friend of Jordan's booth, and they had like a lot of really cool vintage clothing, also just like knickknacks and stuff too, but I had to say no to the clothing. I just like don't need more clothes, and I just said yes to that dress. I wanted to say yes to this dark dress, but it did have some damage to it. It was discounted, but that damage wasn't something that like I would really be able to fix, so unfortunately had to pass. Those Fry boots were so perfect. They were in great condition. They were too big for me. They were like an 8.5 men's. And plus I already have some moto boots that height with like that kind of buckle in brown. So even if they were my size, like wasn't meant to be for me. We'll let another queen find it. That's my catchphrase for the day. But yeah, they had a really good selection of vintage Levi's in this booth. Nothing in particular that I needed or wanted, but definitely a good selection. Okay, please comment below what you think this animal is. I thought it was a rat, but then Jordan kept saying that it like had a triceratops head or like some sort of dinosaur giant lizard head, but like it's like a rat, right? Like it has a rat tail and like those are like rat ears, right? But like why does it have those weird jowl things and like that like humped nose? I don't know. Comment what you think it is. Okay, obsessed with this like random cat bowl. I have no idea what you'd be putting in there, but I just love all these little kittens. Okay, also comment if anyone knows what this contraption is. Like, is it for hairdressers? It literally just said like comb or something. It like has like a parter, maybe like for parting your hair, but then you like clamp it together and comb it. Like, I don't know. My guess was it was like for greasers. I don't know. Okay, our last stop was right next door to Motherload. It's been a while since I've been in this warehouse, but they've got some new stuff. I was kind of obsessed with the idea of this telephone booth. I don't know what you would do with it, but it just like looked so cool and it would be like fun for kids to play in. So this is another Hell's Bells booth. It's definitely more curated with like kind of a nautical theme, and also, I don't know, some eccentric things going on. Okay, I was initially drawn in by that bread box, but then got jump scared by Cursed Annie doll. We've also been on the hunt for a vintage trophy for Jordan. She wants to start collecting them, but we haven't found the right one yet. Okay, also that owl bookend situation was really cool. I don't really have a place for it, nor did I want to pay that much for it, but I've never seen bookends quite like that. I thought it was like for like logs or something. Okay, I missed the moment where Jordan actually found the trophy that she ended up buying, and it's the first trophy to start her trophy collection, but she's holding it in this shot right here, and it's so cute. The shape is perfect. And then I loved this like super niche, uber specific vintage camping booth. Like, it's all vintage camping gear. So if you're into that, that's totally a vibe. Obsessed with the camp TV / flashlight radio, like a lot going on there. And also like the OG Stanley mug. Like, yeah, it's so cool. Thanks again for watching the video, and if you saw anything that stood out to you that I didn't grab or I didn't talk about, let me know. Or if there's anything I left behind that you're like, you should have bought that, let me know that too, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!